Hello YouTubers. So today I want to talk to you about saving data to SQL Server using C#, and we're going to do this in a very easy way. So the first thing I'm going to do is start my SQL Server Management Studio here. I'm going to connect to a database that I have already created, YouTube database, and I'm just going to create a table in here that we're going to be using in this tutorial. So first thing, use your database name, go, and I'm going to create table, and I'm going to call table contacts. And then the first thing I'm going to do is add a primary key to it. And then we're just going to add first name, make it a varchar 100. Probably too long of a name, but that's okay, just for testing purposes anyways. Another varchar 100. Close it. I'm going to run, and there's an error. Another parenthesis, run, command complete. So if I go in here and I select all from table contacts, then I see the structure of my table, but I don't see any data because I don't have any at all. So I'm just going to comment the stuff out, and because we're going to be coming back here to take a look at this. Let me go ahead and minimize this. I'm going to start my Visual Studio here, and I'm just going to create a new project. So File, New Project. We're going to be working with Windows Forms, and click OK. So we're going to be adding this data using two text boxes, one button, and then we're going to use the SQL connection string, and also we're going to use the SQL database adapter, and that's pretty much it. Well, we might use the data set just to display the data later. So let's go ahead and then add two text boxes to our form and one button. And I'm not going to be very neat about this. Because, we have little time. So just remember that the top box will be our text first name, and then the bottom box will be our text last name. Okay? So we have that in there. I'm going to double click the add record, so then now I'm inside the click event. And then, but before that, I have to enter system.data.SQL client, so then we don't have to fully qualify everything. That would be too painful. If you don't know what this is, let me just show you really quick. So let's say now that I have added that, I can just call SQL connection string, and then my class shows up like that. If I don't have this, if I comment that out, still thinking I'm in SQL here. If I comment that out, then I can't use SQL connection. See, it doesn't come up anymore. I would have to use system.data.SQL client.SQL connection. I mean, that's kind of painful, isn't it? So we don't want to be doing that. Okay. So instead of doing all this, we just enter this at the top, which is already there actually. Sorry, it's a little bit late for me. And now we can remove all this. And so we're going to use our class, SQL connection class. This is going to be our object name, CS. And then we're going to instantiate that class by entering. So the data provider will be my computer name, semicolon, and then the initial database equals YouTube for me. You can just use your database name. And then what else we need? Integrated security equals true for me. If you need to enter username and password, just go ahead and do that if that's how you have to configure your login connection. So now we have our connection string defined in there. We can actually test this really quick. So let's just open, and then let's display the show cs state to string, and then cs.close, and then let's just fire this up really quick just to see if our connection string is fine. We add record and we have a problem. Data provider is not correct. Actually, yeah, it's not data provider, it's data source. There you go. Let's try that again. Click. Initial database, not correct. Initial catalog. How do we try that? Initial catalog. And now the connection is open. So make sure you get your keywords correct. So now that we have our SQL connection object up and running, which is the pipe of communication between your presentation layer and the database, now we're going to use SQL data adapter, which is the object that actually sends data from the form to the pipe. And we're just going to instantiate this. And now we're going to actually add a command to it. So data adapter insert, because we're going to be inserting data. We have to define the command equals new SQL command, and my command is insert into table contacts. Is that what we call table contacts? Yeah, let me just copy this. Insert into table contacts, and then I'm going to say that I want to insert the values at first name and then at. We haven't created those parameters, but we're going to create them right now. Last name. Okay. So we have those, comma. It's going to ask me what connection string to use, and so notice that if you know a little bit of SQL, if you don't know SQL, I mean, you might have to take a look at the syntax and how to use SQL. But this is very straightforward. This is our first parameter. This is the second parameter. This is going to go into the first column name, and this is going to go into the last name column. Now we can add the parameters. So data adapter equals insert command dot parameters dot add, and then our parameter is at first name. We're going to close it. It's going to ask what type of parameter is that, and then we're going to call it a varchar. We're going to close that, and now we're going to specify the value, and the value is going to be equal to whatever I put into my text box, first name dot text. Okay, so see how straightforward that is. Now let's just go ahead, and I'm going to be lazy here. I'm going to copy and paste that. Now I'm just going to change first name to last name there and here. So now we have our two parameters. Now what we have to do is open the connection, and now we're going to execute this parameter. So data adapter insert command dot execute none query. You can actually put a return in there, so then you know how many columns get affected, but I'm just going to skip that right now. Now we can close it, and then let's take a look to see what happens. So this is our entire application right here. Let's go ahead and click play, and I'm just going to enter my name. Let's add record, see what happens. Well, we didn't get any errors, and one way to verify that right now is just go into SQL, and I'm going to select command, press F5, and there I am. So that's my first record, and so I can say Fabio, and then I'm going to say Lucy, and then add, and then go over here, and now I have two records in there. Of course, this is not very convenient, right? We're going back and forth between SQL. We don't have to do that. One thing that we could do here, we don't have any more time. So it's 9 minutes and a half already. So that's it for now. So stay tuned for the next tutorial. Thank you. Bye.